Leave one more iTunes review so that Jay can buy a red shirt. Mari Krambu Weebs, my name is Cole, his name is Mike, his name is Jay, we like anime, and this is episode 48 of the Anime Protagonist Podcast, and this week, we convince each other to watch anime that we enjoy, and, well, okay, I convince my two co-hosts to watch good anime, and they try to convince me to watch mediocre anime, because I've already seen all the good anime.
Yeah, sure. In other words, we're telling each other to watch things that we dropped.
It's just what I've been telling myself all week. And a segment returns in the first half of our show, but we'll get to that. But before we get into either of those things, Jasif, what's on your mind?
A couple things, actually. First thing, I didn't really get that great of sleep lately, so I'm kind of tired. So if I seem kind of loopy today, I apologize.
Loopy
here we
Jay,
go. Loopy
making
Jay.
an appearance.
But yeah, we got some brain fog going on. I don't feel 100%. I had to work today, so I'm not usually used to getting up early on a Friday.
Yeah, every time I look in the Discord and you're like posting something or rolling in Mudai, like very early in the day, I'm like, oh boy.
Here we go.
Jay,
that poor boy.
Yeah, Jay either is still awake from the day before.
Good chance of that, yeah.
Yeah, or he had to work.
Yeah, more likely. Especially at like 9 a.m. I feel like I've never seen Jay up that late.
Yeah, no, I'm never up from the night before at 9 a.m. So if it's that time, I'm getting up for work. If it's like I'm up at like 4 a.m., then I'm probably still up from the night before.
Like I've been getting up at like 3 o'clock this whole week. And you've been up pretty much every time that I've been up for like when I wake up. So it's like, oh, okay, that's definitely Jay just still awake.
Yeah. It's funny. Like, I'll you getting up is like my cue to go to bed. Like, I'm like, okay, it's that late.
Mike's active again. Yeah. I guess
Mike's walking the earth. Time for me to leave.
Yeah. That's usually if I see Mike, I run too. Yeah.
It's actually like good life advice.
No, I just mean it like, oh, Mike's up. It's probably kind of late. I should probably get some sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
And then when I get up, then you're like, oh, geez, okay, now it's late.
Have you ever seen Cole wake up? It's terrifying.
Have you?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I have.
Oh, yes, many times.
Wait, you've seen him wake up, but have you seen him sleep?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, many times.
Yes. Mm.
But have you ever seen Jay sleeping on Cole's floor?
Not gonna happen.
It's going to it's going to happen. You will let it happen.
No,
I will make it happen.
I will say this: I sleep like I imagine seeing me sleep is like seeing like a little cherub, like a little angel baby sleeping. That's what I imagine.
Well, Cole, as someone who's seen you sleep many times. It's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah. I found out when I went on my most recent trip to Toronto there with my family, I found out that I snore.
Everybody snores.
Everybody was like, yeah, you were snoring like really loud all night. I'm like, what? Really?
I didn't know that.
I could see that, yeah.
It's so strange when people tell you, like, you snored, and it's just like, wait, I snore?
I think everybody snores. Every single person snores. You know what, actually, I find? If you sleep on your back, you snore. Yeah. If you sleep on your side, you don't really snore.
And I think that was the problem. The beds that we had in Toronto were horrid beds.
Yeah.
And I could only sleep on my back. And then I'd wake up in the morning with like just the most sore throat. And then everybody would be like, Cole, you were snoring all night. And I was like, what did you say?
Like you were smoking a whole pack of cigarettes the entire night?
What do you mean I was snoring all night? Who are you talking to me?
Suddenly
drink
become
some
a New
water.
Yorker.
Drink some water and all of a sudden he's back to normal.
I gargle some salt water and good to go.
Good to go. Speaking of things that are good to go, Mike, I think you're good to go to tell us what's on your mind.
Oh gosh, that was flawless. You know what's on my mind?
What?
The fact that Jay didn't get the memo to wear a red shirt today.
Yeah, this is...
Yeah.
That's not on me. I didn't get the memo. I'm not supposed to give anything.
It was sent out to you. We sent it out to you. It's Canada Post's fault.
Yeah, it's in your mailbox.
Yeah. Did you check your mail today?
I did, actually, before I went to work.
It came after you went to work, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
Me and Cole are both wearing red shirts. Jay, famously on this podcast, not wearing a red shirt. So just picture that the entire time we're recording.
See, here's the thing though. If we're talking about Star Trek rules, who's the one that's going to die?
That's true, but we're talking about next generation rules. So we are the captain, and you are not the captain.
Yeah, but
Jay,
Spock has the blue shirt.
First thing I think of Jay is he doesn't wear a red shirt. That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Okay, let's be real here. If this is Star Trek,
yeah,
who's who? I think I'm Spock. I think Cole is maybe Data, and I think Jay is Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk.
I can tell I nailed it.
Yeah, that's. I think you got it.
I think you got it.
Yeah.
What's actually on my mind, though, is Drake getting wild because he's a man of culture on his Instagram story. Have you guys seen this?
No.
Oh, on Drake's Instagram story to promote his new album, he has been tweeting hentai. Or not tweeting, posting on his story, like, it's like a picture of, like, NTR hentai, too. It's
oh my goodness.
He's a man of culture. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite graphic.
That's something, Drake. You do you. And excuse me, I just need to check something on Instagram.
Honestly, you should check Drake's Instagram. It's hilarious. It's like, and like he like put his album name over the post too. It'll be like basically some girl bent over, and then he put like his album name over it, and it's like, what is going on here? This is bizarro. But the memes are hilarious. I like memes. I'm a man born and bred of the internet, so I
think
like in
Drake
memes.
Are a man of culture.
Apparently, yes. Apparently, indeed. You know who else is a man of culture?
Who?
Cole. What's on your mind?
Oh, that's me. It's my turn. First things first, I just feel like I should apologize for my behavior last week. I'm sorry. I made too many spooky noises, and I'm sure that really, really scared people.
No, Cole, you didn't make enough. You should actually make more this episode.
We're
no longer in spooky season.
Yeah, that'd be out of place. When you were editing the podcast, were your ears just getting destroyed by your spooky noises?
No, actually, like in all honesty, they didn't really bother me that much.
They actually, you know what? When we were recording, I think it was just because while we were recording, because I kind of made a comment like, "Oh man, R.I.P. the people's eardrums." But while we were recording, it was much more obnoxious, and your editing kind of took out some of the obnoxiousness. I thought
that's what I do. That's what I do.
You did a really good job with the edit, Cole.
Yeah. Thank you.
And every time you say first things first, I think you're going to follow that with I'm the realist because I am a millennial.
Me
too. Yeah. Praise me more first.
Your hair looks good today, and I like your red shirt.
Mike, I was also going to compliment his hair.
Cole's a man who likes his hair complimented. So we both know that about him.
Cole famously has the best hair in the podcast.
Oh yeah.
I'll accept that. I'll accept that. Yeah, I'll take that compliment. Thank you. No, what's actually on my mind? I don't even remember if I said what was on my mind last week.
How was it? Lego? Said no.
It was Lego.
It was Lego.
Oh yes, it was.
I just get confused between. I can't keep track of which week's which.
I was gonna say that's
this week. It's TAS speedruns. I've been watching those. They're
Donkey Kong Country.
Everything Mario. I watched Ocarina of Time TAS speedrun.
What's a TAS speedrun?
Tool assisted speedrun. I guess you don't need to add speedrun at the end of TAS speedrun. It's like ATM machine.
Yeah. Or NPR room.
Yeah. Tool assisted speedrun. So it's basically you program the inputs of the controller into the computer, so it just makes like the perfect run.
So like the person doesn't actually play it?
No, they just program the inputs into the controller.
So it's like a frame. It's like a robot playing the video game, basically.
It's like a robot playing the video game, but the robot still needs to be told what to do.
Yeah, so it's like programmed, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Are you a robot?
Error does not error.
Sparks start flying out of my ears.
You just see like a ton of smoke coming from his head.
Yeah, hang on, I'll hit the reset switch on Cole.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not a robot. I can confirm.
Confirm.
But I enjoy watching robots play video games. I don't know. There's just something like
familiar watching.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I can't say it's like this is the ultimate what a human can do ultimately, but it's not. Obviously,
I feel like
it's a robot playing it. So.
You know what, Cole? Actually, when I think about this a little more, it kind of makes sense based on like there's gonna be a weird comparison here, but your music taste. You generally like things that are like very well polished and produced and like perfect, right?
Possibly, yeah.
So watching a robot perfectly play a video game with none of the human involved in it, I think that appeals to your non-robot, totally not a robot brain.
Yeah, I guess I just relate to it. I mean, I guess I just aspire to it. I guess I just really enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mike, I think you need to hit the reset button on Cole again.
No. What do you guys say we queue up our favorite song to listen to because it's been a long time since the people have listened to it?
Oh my goodness.
It's time for the news!
Live from Annie Pro Studios, the news.
What a wave of nostalgia.
That was nice.
the news is back, baby. It's time for our news check-in. We got some news stories to discuss.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's get into it. Crunchyroll is increasing their monthly prices in Canada, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, and more territories. Crunchyroll announced that they are...
We're rusty on the news.
I'm losing it, yeah. Crunchyroll revealed that effective October 31st, the year of our Lord 2022... the price of a subscription in the following regions will be increased in Chile, Australia, Finland, Argentina, Austria, New Zealand, Mexico, Netherlands, Faroe Islands, Greenland, and of course, Canada.
Do you want to list the prices that they're going up by?
No, I didn't make a note of that.
Oh, okay.
But some subscription prices will also change with Funimation in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and Chile. Meanwhile, some of the prices will actually decrease in Brazil, Peru, and Colombia. Crunchyroll and Funimation are adjusting prices in a selection of international markets for some premium plans as part of, quote, creating a unified subscription service. So I guess they want to kind of flatten out the rate so that whether you're on Funimation or Crunchyroll, you're not paying. One of them doesn't have a competitive advantage over the other, I suppose.
I guess that makes sense.
So that everybody just doesn't matter which one you take, whichever one you like.
Yeah, seems like part of the merger. I mean, Crunchyroll's been slowly getting all of Funimation's shows, so this seems like if they're equaling out the prices, then
it's just
one of them turning into the yeah.
It seems like Crunchyroll kind of wants Funimation to just like slowly disappear too. So it makes sense if they was like slowly said, "Oh, you're paying this much for Funimation." Okay, we're just going to roll that into a Crunchyroll subscription, which is conveniently the same price.
The same price. Yeah, I have a feeling, frankly, Funimation probably won't be around for too much longer.
Yeah,
the writing's definitely on the wall.
I mean, they're not getting new simulcasts already. It's all going to Crunchyroll. So I mean, it's kind of like a matter of when rather than if.
There's no longer a Funimation YouTube channel. There's no longer
it's Crunchyroll Dubs now.
Yeah. There's no longer a Funimation Discord server.
Yep,
I've noticed.
They're now Crunchyroll.
It's changed.
Mm-hmm.
Times they are a-changing.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's what happens when you live in a capitalist society.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of capitalist society, Spy Family, Chainsaw Man, they both rank on the New York Times October bestseller list. Mangas on New York Times bestsellers? What?
Hasn't Chainsaw Man been on there for forever?
I don't know.
I feel like it has.
Cole, hold on. What's a manga?
Yeah. Manga. Sorry.
No. What is it?
It's a book with words, I've told.
And pitches.
Oh.
Yeah. Jay, what's a manga?
I don't know. I ask you.
I feel like there's a bit here that none of us are aware of.
Yeah.
Jay, what's going on?
Jay, what's a manga?
What is anime?
What is anime?
What is
4 manga volumes ranked in the New York Times bestseller monthly graphic books and manga bestseller list released in early October. Manga on this month's list include at number 2, Spy Family Volume 8, number 10, Chainsaw Man Volume 1, 13, Spy Family Volume 2, and 15, Spy Family Volume 1.
Kind of goes to show how good of a sales tool anime is for manga.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I mean, like Chainsaw Man on there it was spoopy season in October, you know. It's a little spoopy.
Yeah, the anime also debuted in October, so.
Exactly. Yeah, that too.
And especially since, like, you can tell Volume 1's the one that ranked so high. People are starting it because they started the anime.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it would make sense that Volume 8's the up top like that because it just came out, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But speaking of Spy Family, I think Mike has some news about Spy Family and their
Peanuts
products.
Yeah, I
being
do.
Sold.
Yeah, Burger King X Spy Family. Wait, no. Burger King X Spy X Family X Peanuts X Burgers. Burger King Japan has teamed up with the Esper child Anya Forger of hit anime and manga Spy X Family. Do we say the X or do we just say
it's
Spy
just Spy
Family?
Family? It's just Spy Family.
I say times, like Spy times Family, like a mathematical equation.
What does it equal, though?
Fun.
Imation?
No, it's gone.
Oh. No, it's still here.
Oh, it is still here. You're right.
You're clinging to the past.
Yeah.
No, you can't convince me otherwise. It will be here forever.
Get
You
with
have
the
to let it
times,
go.
old man. Yeah.
You gotta let it go, Jay.
Your old man screaming into the wind right now.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not an old man. You're an old man.
It's true. My next story will prove that. But the collaborative family of 3 burgers is known as the Peanut Butter Royale. They didn't put Trio in there, but I feel like Trio could have been thrown in there. It will feature the Royale and Bacon, the Royale and Berry, and the Royale and Chicken burgers, all of which will use a special peanut butter sauce crafted to match Burger King's flame grilled patties. The sauce is, of course, inspired by Anya's love of peanuts in Times Family.
There we go. Yeah.
Burger King hopes that the sweet and savory peanut butter sauce, made with added sweetness from sugar and condensed milk, oh, that's very sweet, will mix in with the bolder flavors and richness from miso, cheese, sesame seeds, and other toppings like bacon. Everybody likes bacon.
If only there were some pictures here that I could look at.
Wow. If you're watching the YouTube video, wow, look at that. A burger just popped up on the screen. This is known as the Royale and Berry, and it serves up a flame-grilled 100% beef patty with sweet and sour berry sauce, peanut butter sauce, and a creamy mayonnaise in what is essentially a peanut butter and jelly sandwich take on a Whopper. How do we feel about this one, guys?
I'm pro. I like a burger with some sweet stuff on it.
I don't know. I mean, peanut butter on burgers is always interesting, but I'm not sure. I'd need to try it first.
I feel like you pretty easily could, right? Like you just a burger with mayo, peanut butter, and jelly. I
think the thing that that kind of turns me off is it looks so thin. Like it looks like two ginormously thick patty or buns, and then a tiny little patty.
Yeah, I want to reference a commercial from definitely not my youth, but definitely from before I was born. But
where's the beef?
Where's the beef?
Yeah, it's. You know what? It's interesting because honestly, like the bun and the patty are the same as probably over here, but like they're just missing all the like Whoppers have a ton of toppings on them, right? So it's missing all that. So it's just basically a bun with a burger patty, a Whopper burger patty, which are usually pretty thin, and then it just looks like peanut butter, jelly, and mayo on it.
Yeah,
I think it'd be good, but I agree with Jay. Where's the beef?
Where's the beef?
Yeah,
where's the beef?
Maybe make
throw
it
some
double.
cheese on there. Throw some cheese on there. That would, I think it'd be fire. I think it'd be a fire burger.
Look, put more of the fixins on there. Where are the fixins?
Yeah, I think you can.
You gotta be careful with the fixins with the peanut butter and jelly, though, right? Like you don't want tomatoes and lettuce, right?
I think lettuce might be a choice.
Yeah,
cheese I think would be fine. Lettuce on the
Lettuce is
table.
on the line. Tomatoes definitely not.
Tomato, no tomato.
No.
So let's just get an official thumbs up, thumbs down on the Royale and Berry.
Thumbs up from me.
I'd say thumb parallel with the ground.
Nice.
It's a binary choice.
Yeah, there's no middle of the ground, Jay.
Ugh, gross. Well, I'm known as the resident contrarian, so I'm going to say thumbs down.
Okay, there we go. Next up, we got the Royale and Bacon, which uses the same peanut butter sauce and mayo, but substitutes the berry sauce with crispy and smoky bacon that's said to smash well with the creamy peanut butter sauce on top of the beef patty. This one would be really good.
Oh, yeah. The bacon honestly would complement the peanut butter so well.
Yeah.
I think
this
so.
one,
Yeah.
This one would be really good. We're all thumbs up on that. That's pretty standard. I can actually picture what this one tastes like at least. But also...
This one I can imagine having more fixins on.
Yeah. This one I could see... You know what? I'd still go no tomato, but I could see onion and lettuce for sure on this one.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. And cheese.
Jay, do you agree?
Course.
And cheese.
Of course.
And cheese, yeah.
Cheese, of course.
Yeah.
The last one, though... Oh, go ahead, Jay.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, I'm kind of 50-50 on the tomato. Like, I could both see it and not.
I'm not
This one, I'm more pro tomato on this one than I was on the last one.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling. Like, I'm more pro, but I'm probably, like, if it didn't have tomato, I wouldn't be upset that it didn't have it.
You're not going to miss it.
Yeah.
I'm not a lover of tomato on burgers for the most part. It just kind of makes it messy more than it makes it... you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that. For me, it depends on the thickness of the tomato. If it's like a very thick tomato, then no. But if it's just like a perfect slice.
Yeah.
Can I just address the elephant in the room on this one?
What's that?
Where's the beef?
Where is the beef? That
this
is
one
a
has
good
the
point.
bacon to catch up with the beef. It's a little thicker. There's the bacon there, right?
It's got the bacon on it. Anyway, thumbs up, thumbs down?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Okay, unanimous thumbs up from us.
I mean, bacon. That's all you need to say.
Yeah, bacon, peanut butter. That's pretty.
Yeah.
Last one is the Royale and Chicken. This is Anya's signature burger. I just made that up out of nowhere. Features both a flame-grilled beef patty and a crispy chicken patty, and is topped with peanut butter sauce, cheddar cheese for Cole, who's been begging for cheese this whole time, mayo for a cheesy peanut butter twist. This one would be so good, actually.
Oh
This
my
one-
god. Here's the thing, too.
This one is it.
There's the meat.
This is it.
There's the meat.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Let me just say, where's the beef again? The chicken patty is thicker than the beef patty.
Okay, that's true. That is true. But like, there's at least meat in there. Like, it looks like there's more meat. There's more of a meat to bun ratio.
That looks like a hearty sandwich.
Yeah.
You guys got to remember, though, Burger King patties, even over here, are pretty thin, right?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's just
doesn't look
my
good, yeah.
my brain plays tricks on me when I'm holding one compared to when I see a picture of one.
This one has the right thickness for like a solid, hefty burger, though.
Yeah. Yeah. This one would fill me up.
Yeah.
You know, what's a good way to describe it? A perfectly sized burger should be a square. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas the first ones are like rectangular. This one's kind of square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The height of the burger should match the width.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's been the Burger Cast. Now we'll move on to my next news story.
Wait. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs up. Huge thumbs up.
Thumbs up. This is the most thumbs up I'll probably go out of the three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see this one actually coming over here.
2 thumbs up.
Whoa. I actually see them.
Honestly, 2 thumbs up, but you can't see my other thumb because it's holding my microphone.
Okay.
Good.
Honestly, though,
Huge thumbs up from Cole.
big, huge, double thumbs up to
He's
you
giving
boys.
us the middle finger. 2 birds flying in the breeze.
Yeah.
My next news story. Teens say that Mike, also known as Gritty Gundam, is a certified old person.
I told you.
Yeah.
I didn't see your headline.
During a recent interview, Takia Okamoto, the producer of Mobile Suit Gundam Witch from Mercury, also known as G-Witch, recounted his experience during a high school social studies trip to the studio he works at, Studio Sunrise, who's producing the Mobile Suit Gundam. According to him, the students told him that Gundam isn't aimed at us, and if I see a Gundam in the title, I won't watch it. Basically saying, Gundam's for old people, we are young people, we don't care about Gundam. According to him, even before he joined the project, though, the idea for Mobile Suit Gundam Witch from Mercury was to be an entry point in the franchise for a new generation. And this just kind of furthered that idea. Yeah, Jay, exactly.
Jay should watch this.
Jay should watch this.
We'll get more into that in our mid-season preview or mid-season check-in next week.
Yeah, tune in next week for us yelling at Jay to watch this show. Because
That's going to be the whole episode, but also that's a continuation off of this episode because I feel like I'm going to get yelled at to watch a lot of stuff this week.
Probably.
Oh, yeah, I guess that is kind of the whole point of this episode.
Yeah.
Tune in next week to listen to Jay gush about Lum for an hour and a half.
I mean, Cole, do you blame me?
Sorry, Michael, continue your story.
Thank you. There had already been talks about the new Gundam set in an alternate universe from the Universal Century timeline, which Cole and I are quite fond of. It's like
I am very fond of the Universal Century. It is the superior century.
Yeah, it's basically like the main timeline for Gundam, and then they put a bunch of other like spin-off ones in their own universes.
So which one is Big Zam in?
Universal
Century.
Okay, he's the best Gundam.
Basically, if there's like a really iconic Gundam, it's probably Universal Century.
Yeah,
Okay.
and don't even acknowledge what Jay just said. Just keep reading.
We're going to keep going. Okamoto came... So the talks began in 2018 to set the new Gundam outside the Universal Century. And then Okamoto came on board in 2020, at which time he was told, make a Gundam with a female protagonist. So that was one of the things we were all hyped for going into this series. So it seems like they knew what they were doing there. Then he went on to state that there are some aspects of Soletta that they were able to depict due to her gender, although the staff was not particularly fixated on making gender a large part of the story, with the goal being to simply portray her as simply a person, which I think is nice. I like that they're doing that, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. And then at the end, he basically just said, like, usually Gundam, it takes place in, like, the middle of a war, and then a child soldier gets basically drafted into the war by some weird chain of events or whatever, and then he basically said, kids these days, they don't identify with that at all. So let's just basically make this one in a school, and the kids will like it, hopefully. Which I don't know if they are liking it or not, but I am liking it.
I'm liking it.
Because I'm certified old.
Yeah, I am the eldest one.
Yes.
I am the elder one.
Maybe I'll check it out eventually.
Yeah, tune in to see if the child decides to watch the show. And child's a relative term. He's like, not that much younger than us. But
he's pretty
Jay.
I'm not that young.
And what are you, like 17? Don't
What?
say your age.
He's pretty baby.
I am not 17. I'm much older than that.
Yes. Much older.
Yes,
Much older.
Much older.
Much
Yes.
The years between you and 17 are many.
A great many years between
Relatively
me and
speaking.
17.
Relatively.
One interesting thing, though, that he said in this is that, like, when these kids, like, went on that field trip with him, and they started saying that, he, like, actually had, like, a moment where he, like, just kind of, like, felt like he got, like, slapped in the face almost, because he realized that Gundam Seed, which he considered, like, the Gundam, and that's definitely the most popular Gundam in Japan, he's like, oh, wait, that came out, like, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So, like,
it's
if
all
you were
old, man.
if you're a teenager watching Gundam Seed, you're, like, over 30 now.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Me. Yeah.
Gundam Seed was the one that seemed most interesting to me. So
This one you'll like more, for sure.
Yeah.
The new one has, like, kind of like a school harem thing going on, which I think you'll like.
Yeah.
that's what you were telling me, but we'll get to that next week.
Yes, exactly. Tell us about your news story, Jason.
Yes. Moving on to more news. Hollywood's Your Name live action film is set to be written and directed by Carlos Lopez, who is known for Raya and the Last Dragon. You might have seen that in the past couple years. Entertainment website Variety reported that he will be rewriting and directing the live action adaptation of the film, and will be taking it from Lee Isaac Chung, who left the project due to scheduling conflicts. He was going to be directing it based off of the script written by Emily V. Gordon. Deadline also previously reported that Mark Webb was going to be attached to the movie, but he is not anymore. But it is going to be done by this guy that wrote Raya and the Last Dragon, and a lot of people are kind of upset about that.
Well, I mean, this much change in the production team is
Never a good sign.
not a stamp of approval. That is definitely concerning.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the executive team, because I think it's J.J. Abrams is an executive producer, right?
Yeah,
Bad Robot is the production company.
It's his production company as well as Paramount,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously Toho because Japan.
Yeah. This is not a good sign.
Yeah, I'm kind of hopeful for this movie just because I could see, like, the story of Your Name translating well to a live action, but it's always up to whether or not they do it. Any movie can be bad or any movie can be, well...
Mm-hmm. That's kind of how I feel about it. Like, I want to be optimistic for it because until you actually see the thing, anything's possible. I mean, the Batman that came out earlier this year was in like developmental hell. Originally Ben Affleck was supposed to be in it, and it was supposed to be directed by him, and then it became a completely different thing, and it was really good.
Right.
So like it could be good, but like it's very much up in the air.
I've just been hurt too many times. I've just been hurt too many times by anime movies.
You're also very cynical when it comes to live action adaptations of stuff. So I feel like that's on brand for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. I like to be optimistic, just because it's too lame to always be down about things.
Yeah, that's kind of my take on it too. I'll give it a shot, and I'm sure it'll wind up at most like a 7.5 out of 10. You know what I mean?
Low 7.
Yeah, it'll be somewhere around there. But
yeah,
I don't know. I guess my point of view is if the best they can do is make it a 7, then what's the point?
Well, money.
Like, aren't there enough 7s?
No,
Actually,
there's got to be more.
You know
7's
what?
a lucky number.
I watched actually this little like interview with Matt Damon earlier today. And it's weird that this came up into my mind just now, but he actually was talking about how nowadays they have to make movies that make money in theaters, which like I didn't think of before, because they don't actually. Before they had DVDs and VHS and stuff like that to supplement the income, whereas now they basically can't take any risks with like weirder projects that'll sell well in the after theater stage. Yeah. So like stuff like this is what they end up with, right?
Just kind of. Yeah.
And at the same time, it's much harder to make money off of new properties rather than reusing old ones and getting that. Like, that's why the MCU always sells well, because whether or not it's good, people know this is an MCU movie. I'm going to go see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know that they need to like take different IPs and make movies off of them. They just
need to fix it somehow. They need to fix the system.
Yeah,
I have the same issue with like the Disney live action remakes. It's like, why make them? I know it's for money. Don't tell me it's for money. I just mean like as a creative, like,
yeah, those ones. You know what? I can see your argument for those ones.
Why do I need to watch a like? Great, good job. You guys blew my mind with making the photorealistic lions for the live action Lion King. Like, it truly is like a spectacle to behold. But the animated movie is also a spectacle to behold. It's a beautiful movie.
What I don't understand is if they're animating it, why not just like remake it as like a new animation, like they're doing, like anime does with new anime, like
don't remake
Orange.
it.
No, but like I'm just saying, assuming you're needing to make, like, you want to do it to make money, remake the animation because that's what people know. So like how Studio Orange is redoing Trigun, or how
but they're not. Studio Orange isn't redoing Trigun. They're telling a different story. All of these live action movies do is just redo the movie again.
I was also going to say Urusei Yatsura.
Yeah, but that came out in like 1984 or whatever.
I hate to break it to you, Cole, but like Lion King came out in 93.
Yeah,
that's not that old though.
But
there are kids that haven't seen The Lion King.
That's 30 years ago.
Put it in the DVD player.
I think the problem I have with the Lion King remake and like those Disney remakes is that it is, like Cole said, the exact same story, and it's animated to just another animation style. So it's like, what's kind of the point? Do you know what I mean? Whereas this, at least they're taking it and moving it from anime, which is a genre that people will just write off as a whole just because it's animated, and moving it into live action, which people who don't even know what your name is will see this movie and probably like it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Until
you got to remember, you're like
we've
a
spent
film
enough
critic,
time on
right?
this.
So like, not everyone thinks like you.
Yeah.
No,
like,
that's true.
You got to think the average person rather than
when the average person hears that this is based on an anime, they're gonna say, "Oh, well, then I don't want to see it."
I don't know about that, but I think we should definitely
move on. Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of your name and Makoto Shinkai stuff, I have another Makoto Shinkai story, and also having to do with fast food. McDonald's,
perfect, my favorite,
has a Happy Meal promo for the new.
I thought you were just gonna stop there.
Makoto Shinkai
meal.
For the new Makoto Shinkai film Suzume, that comes with a spin-off picture book for the film that he is writing himself for the picture book. The first time he ever wrote text for a picture book, and it is basically working as a small prologue that complements the film, but it also aims to be an enjoyable book in its own right. It's going out as a Happy Meal inclusion, which is pretty cool.
Is this in Japan?
In Japan,
Oh, okay.
yes. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I wish we got these things over here. That'd be awesome.
I know. That would be very cool.
The most we get here is Pokemon.
Yeah. Which, I mean, to be fair, Pokemon is pretty cool. Like,
Pokemon
getting
is pretty cool.
Pokemon stuff in
Yeah.
Happy Meals.
Yeah. But like when Film Red came out in Japan, people were getting popcorn buckets that were shaped like the Gomu Gomu no Mi. And I'm like, I want that so bad.
Oh, that actually is really cool.
Yeah.
What?
But we don't get stuff like that here. The gum fruit, cool. That purple
thank
fruit.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you for dumbing it down for me.
The thing that Monkey D. Luffy eats and becomes rubbery.
Gross.
A boy named Monkey D. Luffy ate the gum fruit.
Yes.
That's gross.
Anyway.
Jay, do you have a question for our lovely listeners?
I don't.
Okay, well, I'll have one then.
Okay.
What is your favorite fast food burger? Comment below or come to our Discord and let us know.
That's a good one.
Message us on Instagram or Twitter.
one.
What is your favorite fast food burger?
Sound off right now. Michael?
Favorite fast food burger. Does Five Guys count?
Oh, Five Guys.
Sure.
counts.
Sure.
Five Guys. Yeah, Five Guys.
Okay. Jay?
Quick,
the music's swelling.
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot. I'm gonna have to agree, Five Guys.
Nice.
Flamethrower from Dairy Queen.
Oh, that's so good. I had one last week.
Yeah.
I haven't had one in a while.
I think it's time for an break.
And welcome back to the Anime Protagonist Podcast. We are talking shows that fools like you have stopped watching. We're going to try to get you to watch them. Either stopped, paused, or maybe you're planning to watch it, but you don't really know for sure if it's for you. So we're going to we got a lot of people coming in from our Instagram, Discord, our TikTok, and our Twitter and all that stuff, telling us ones that they want us to recommend to them. And then we also have some planned that we plan for each other based on our Annie lists. So, without further ado, I think Cole should tell us what anime he wants one of Jay or I to watch that we have dropped or have not watched.
Right. I agree. I think that would be a good idea, and I'm definitely not stalling to pull up my list.
Yes.
I'll start with Jay.
Oh, this is
for
gonna be a
one
good
that-
one.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Oh,
This is gonna be
Jay
Jay
has-
getting roasted for a while, I think.
No, Jay.
Yeah, I feel
no,
like
no. I'm not roasting anybody today.
I
I
like
feel
it.
like I have the spiciest drop list out of the three of
You
us,
definitely
so
do.
it was
Listen.
the easiest for both of you.
For Jay, I picked one planning and one dropped, and this one is one that's on your planning list, and I
Okay.
think you'd like this one.
Okay.
It's anime produced by Netflix called High Score Girl.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
I see. I get
I
it.
feel like Jay would really like this one. It's kind of a star-crossed lovers kind of story. It's cute AF. It's about video games. Jay likes video games.
It's true.
It's just good vibes. Like, it's cool, like 90s gaming vibes, arcades, and yeah, like I said, it's got that romance element that I know Jay loves.
I'll be honest. When you mentioned this one, I'm actually surprised to find out that he hasn't watched it because it just seems like a Jay show.
Can you guess why?
Yeah.
Because it's not based on a light novel.
No, I have read the manga.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, of course.
Even though it is CGI anime, and I know that rubs
is it?
people the wrong way. Yeah, it's not bad CGI. I mean, we're not talking about like Knights of Sidonia or
We're not talking
Lustrous.
X-Arm.
yeah. It's not as good as like Studio Orange either, but it's pretty
Yeah.
good. It's good anime. I like the anime. I think Jay would like it. Mike, have you seen it?
No, I have not.
I think Mike would like it too. I think
probably
Mike
would.
would like this one. Yeah, it's just a nice wholesome anime. Like I said, star-crossed lovers. It's sweet.
I'm pretty easy to
And
please,
that
so I'd
is-
probably like it too. So
Yeah.
And that is my recommendation to Jay. Mike, do you have a recommendation for one of us?
Oh, I sure do. Who should I tackle first? Well, you know what, Cole? You did Jay, so I'm going to do you. Cole, I'm
In the
going to do
mailbag?
you right now.
Oh God.
Okay, I'm ready. I am
This
ready to
anime.
receive your recommendation.
I don't know if it's on your planning, or I don't know if it's on your paused or your drop list, because they're effectively the same thing.
It's basically the same thing with me. Yeah.
It's basically just like, yeah, your drop list is just the shows, like I feel like you said, I'm definitely never going to watch this ever again, because they're
my
like
paused
horrible.
is like, yeah, my paused is like, I have an intention of coming back to it. It's just my
You never
attention
will.
span. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one that I've chosen for you is an all-timer anime.
Okay.
Do you like a show called Darling in the Franxx?
I do like a
Did
show
you
called
enjoy that
Darling in
show?
the Franks.
Well, what
I
if I
did.
told you there was a show on your drop list that you dropped that is very similar to it? It's called Gurren Lagann.
Oh. Convince me, Michael.
So you dropped this show pretty much right after the time skip, which is when I think you would like it the most, because right after the time skip, things get crazy and start escalating like wildfire, and things go to space. And I know you like zany craziness too, just like I do.
Yes.
And the plot gets infinitely deeper and more like sci-fi-y and just way more convoluted and complex after the time skip, which is the stuff that you like. So why did you stop watching this?
Well, in my defense, I think it's because it just goes like a couple steps too far. I think I can't suspend my disbelief enough to believe that these robots are fighting that are like the size of
Like
galaxies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that might be the answer.
Yeah, but I mean, I have an issue with the way that Gurren Lagann kind of has that like hyper masculinity in it. That, I don't know, it just kind of bugs me a little bit. But I'll give it another shot, Michael. I'll give it another shot
Okay.
for you.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Because it's just good trigger fun, but it's pre-trigger, isn't it? It's Gainax still, I think.
It's Gainax, but I think that's how I need to step into that, is just being aware that this is effectively trigger, and that I just need to just hold on and just have some fun.
Enjoy the roller coaster.
Yeah, the second part too, I think, kind of tones down on like the macho bravado stuff a bit too, so you might like it. Plus, Yoko's great. Everybody likes Yoko.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other one.
Yeah.
The white-haired girl.
Yeah, whatever. Yoko. Jay, do you have one for me or Cole? Since
I
you're
do
wearing a black shirt and we're wearing red shirts.
Mine's blue. What are you talking about?
Oh, it looks black.
Looks black.
Oh, it's blue. So,
I
I have a show for Mike,
Oh, no.
and I am going to recommend Assassination Classroom.
Oh, okay. This is my planning list, I think.
Yeah, this is from your planning list, and honestly, while I was going through it, this is the one I was like, wait, Mike hasn't watched Assassination Classroom? It's like, first of all, I know you love shonen, and like this is a shonen, with like a great cast. The class that the class that the story is bent around, they all feel like unique, and they all like get they all feel like a unit as like a class.
Huge unit. Yeah.
Some characters in the
Michael,
class
that's a
do
big
get
unit.
Big unit.
some characters in the class do get more development than others, but like it doesn't feel like there's like one prominent character that's like clearly
Just a good ensemble.
Yeah, it's a good ensemble. I mean, like there obviously is a main character, but like they're like I could see why you would pick any of the characters in the class as your favorite kind of thing.
Well, you know what? This show, I know I'm going to like it just because of everything that you said.
Yeah.
And I already know what my best person in the show is going to be, and it's probably Kokoro Sensei or Koro Sensei.
Koro Sensei. Yeah, Koro Sensei's such a good character. Once you like get into his backstory and you get to learn about like why he's doing what he's doing, it's like it really like hits your Kokoro.
Yeah.
And like just like I would be surprised if you or your wife, because I'm certain you'll watch this with your wife, if either of you walk out. 1 second, I'm getting to that. If either of you walk out without crying,
I'm gonna walk out and cry.
And the reason I say you're gonna watch this with your wife is because it has a good dub.
Oh, that's correct. That's a good point, actually.
There it is.
This show is one of those shows. You know what you like want to watch a show, but there's just always something else you want to watch more. Do you know what I mean? This is that show for me. Like, it's just always there. It's always looking at me. Koro Sensei's always just peeking over my shoulder at me. And I just never actually pick it for some reason. One day I will. And honestly, how safe for work is this one?
I think it's fine. There's maybe like one character that might be a bit iffy, but aside from that one character, I think it's fine.
Okay, I might.
Usually that's the comic relief character, I'm assuming.
She's more like how do I say this without also saying this? The boys that want to look at things but not look at things get their fan service from. She's the fan service character. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, well,
I was confused. Whatever. Yeah. But I think, not that I would ever do this at work, but I might just want to work.
Oh. Honestly, Mike, you should watch it. It's so good.
It turns me off a little bit because isn't it like 40 episodes or something? Isn't there 2 seasons of it?
It's two core seasons, but honestly, like it feels like each episode is worth checking out. So like I think it's definitely worth it. Let's
go around the clock one more time because I want to do one for Mike and then Jay do one for me and Mike do one for Jay.
Sure.
For Michael, I have one off of your planning list.
Okay.
Do you remember a manga called Yotsuba End?
Correct. Yes, I do remember that. Yeah.
Do you enjoy that manga?
I do enjoy that manga. We talked about it last week, how much I enjoy that manga.
I have an anime that's similar to it, but at the same time, not similar to it at all. It's called Hinamatsuri.
Okay.
Similar in the sense that it's, a little girl and like an adoptive father figure, and he's trying to raise her. Not similar in the sense that she's like an Esper, like she has psychic powers.
Okay.
And it's hilarious.
Okay.
It's a hilarious show. It's very cute as well. I think Mike would like it. It hits the comedic notes properly. I don't know about the dub. I don't know.
You know what? Having this podcast has kind of made me I'm watching things more in sub now, just purely because I have to keep up with stuff for the podcast. So I'm more in the sub fan base now, I'd say. But I'd still do like a dub.
Basically, the quick pitch is the main guy is a Yakuza member and he has no children or anything. And all of a sudden there's like this weird pod that shows up in his house. And inside the pod is this girl who has psychic powers and fun zaniness ensues.
It does seem fun. Something with bubbles too,
like
right?
I said,
Is there something with bubbles involved with this one? I can picture the cover art in my head, but I can't. I don't know. She wants to eat like fish roe all the time. Maybe that's what it's supposed to represent. Perhaps.
I don't really remember. But the reason I recommended this one was because of Yotsuba End. It's got similar vibes, but definitely different as well. Watch it. Jay, have you seen that? Hinamatsuri?
I haven't. It's on my planning list as well as like a bunch of other things.
I recommend it to both of you and everyone.
Yes.
It's a good time. Mike, do you have something else?
Yes.
Let me get my list.
Jay-Lian.
Yes. I'm scared. Are you going to roast me?
This show is on your dropped list.
Yeah, of course it is.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Here we go.
This show is one of my favorite shows.
I knew this was coming.
This show, I think you've watched 3 episodes of. It's not what you thought it was, is it?
No.
It's Dr. Stone. Jay, why did you drop Dr. Stone? What don't you like about Dr. Stone?
Okay, so here's the thing. When I got into Dr. Stone, I started reading the Dr. Stone manga when it first started publishing.
He was reading the Dr. Stone manga before it was cool.
Before it was even a thing, I knew Dr. Stone was a thing.
Well, listen, Jay. It's got everything that you like. It's cool. It's got science, but not sci-fi. It's not sci-fi, though. Don't worry. It's got a overpowered main character, but not in the traditional sense because he knows everything. You like the really smart main characters that know everything.
I do like the very smart main character.
Yeah, he's very powerful with his science, and he's got good friends, a good cast of characters there. And there's also lots of very good waifu material in this show too, because the artist that drew Dr. Stone, Boichi
is a good artist.
He draws some very fine art, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, he does. Yes. He is very cultured.
Yes, he's a man of culture as well. And Jay, this show is so dang good. What's not there to like in this one? It's wholesome, it's shonen, it's all of the above. It's good.
So the reason I couldn't get into it, in my defense, is the way it the way it tackles the science kind of thing is it is kind of like it approaches a problem and then they find one science thing to solve it. They explain how the science thing works, and then they have it, and that's basically the end of the problem. Rinse, repeat. And that's the whole show. It has story behind it, but like when I was reading the manga, that formula just kind of kept coming, and it just kind of got old real quick with me, and I just kind of fell off. I liked it up until the Stone Wars, but after that, it just kind of was like, eh.
Okay, because that's where it is right now. The Stone Wars have just ended. They're about to go build the ship. I don't know. Moon. I didn't really think I was going to convince you to watch this one, but I just wanted to talk about how good Dr. Stone is. Go watch it. It's really good. It's wholesome and everything you want.
It was a valiant effort, Michael.
Yeah. It was a valiant effort, but
Jay is very stubborn, but he's not as stubborn as I am. So try to convince me to watch something, Jay.
Cole, do you like The Simpsons?
I do like The Simpsons.
Okay,
you recommend Death Note Simpsons?
Are you going to recommend Gintama?
Oh my god, what if I recommended Death Note and just out of nowhere? But that would have been so cool. But no, I am going to recommend Gintama because Cole, this is in your paused, and you need to keep watching Gintama.
Gintama is genuinely in my pause, though. That's one where I do have every intention of getting back to it because
oh my god, like
the 25 episodes that I've seen of Gintama is some of the funniest anime I've seen.
It's so funny. The cast is so wide, and like all of the characters feel unique. And there's not one where I'm like, that character sucks, unless like they're supposed to suck.
Yeah.
You know, and I really want to get into the Gintama when it like starts to get a bit more dramatic as well.
Yeah,
like I know it's very rare for a show to have both like drama that hits and comedy that hits.
Yeah, they both hit and they both like knock it out of the park. And even when it gets dramatic, that comedy's still there and it still lands. So like even though the drama is like the more prevalent part of the latter part of the story, the comedy comes in to make sure that the drama isn't too heavy for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like it has a similar tone to like Golden Kamui, kind of. Except it's a bit more comedic than Golden Kamui is.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. But
I haven't watched this one either, so this is actually serving as I already know how good it is, but like the best way I put it is the comedy part gets you to like the cast. Mm-hmm. And then when when the drama hits, you really feel for these characters.
Care. Yeah, you care about it.
You really care.
Yeah. Yeah. So here I was saying Jay's going to have a really tough time convincing me to watch something, and then he picks the one that I'm like, oh yeah, no, definitely. I'll definitely watch that. So good job, Jay. But I think it's time to cleanse our palates and start going into our listener submitted suggestions. Yes. How do we start this?
Also, all of you listening at home, go watch those shows that we recommended because we recommend those to you too.
Yes.
Not that we know you personally, but
I would say all the ones that we're going to recommend to each other, we recommend that anyone watches. These next from the listeners, I'd say there's someone here that I would say aren't going to be recommended to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll do our best to recommend them anyway.
Yeah. And huge thanks to everybody who actually responded to our stories and all that stuff like that to make content for the show. I hope you like our recommendations. Let's start with the first one here that was suggested by two people. One Piece on Instagram, Alpha Echo Assistants. They are very nice. They left us a nice iTunes review, and
thank you.
Yes, thank you leave us iTunes reviews. Leave us reviews and stuff. We need them, please.
We need them. That's how we live.
Yeah, that's our sustenance. We eat them.
Yes. Jay's starving here. Jay, tell her why she should watch One Piece.
Leave one more iTunes review so that Jay can buy a red shirt.
Watch next week. I actually am wearing a red shirt,
and we're wearing blue.
Yeah.
Blue shirts.
One Piece. I mean, we have a whole episode talking about why we love One Piece, but just to like keep treading on it, it has probably one of the most expansive worlds in anime, with like diverse set of cultures, tons of different like people and things going on, a whole government that is really well fleshed out and thought of, things that happened like long time planning that I haven't seen in anime in a long, or basically ever, I'd say.
Things that happen long time ago.
Yeah,
Oda's foresight is ridiculous.
Yeah. And like he's even said, like he goes back to the wiki to see what, or to make sure that everything is all in line with each other. So like he really is, he really pays a lot of attention to detail. The art, honestly, like I get why people wouldn't like it, but it does give that Saturday morning cartoon vibe.
I think,
if you know what I mean.
I think the thing with the art is it disarms people. They think it's just a goofy, silly show about stretchy pirates.
Mm-hmm.
And then it deals with like genocide or like racism or slavery. And then you're like caught off guard. You know what I mean? It disarms you a bit. Cole, here, you can go ahead and talk about your toilet mouth real quick here. Just say toilet mouth. So then we can move on.
He's got a toilet mouth. Got a toilet mouth. No, this is time for positivity.
Yeah.
So that's why I am not saying anything.
Good. That's the best way to do it. And
no,
honestly,
no. I know I always talk about toilet mouth and everything, but I there's a reason why One Piece is so prevalent and so ever popular. There has to be. I'm just not aware of it.
Yeah. The one thing I would say is it's basically, if you like soft world building where like they just do things and it doesn't really matter, they don't really explain stuff sometimes, it just kind of like happens and you just accept it and move on. That's One Piece in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, suspension of disbelief is kind of required for it, but like
literally anything could happen in the One Piece world and you'd be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think that's to its benefit, because it feels like the realm of creativity is ever expansive.
Yes. I think we've recommended that one.
Recommendation from, you know what? If you're willing to get into One Piece, I'd recommend it. Yeah. I don't know anything about it, but I mean, there's got to be a reason why everybody likes it.
Yeah.
The main reason why
maybe you should watch it and find out.
Well, the main reason I'm not is because I find the character design silly. And yeah, the length is intimidating. Like it's too much for me to just jump in now. Honestly,
that's fair. The thing that I found surprising about reading the manga, though, while you're reading it, and I don't know how it feels watching the anime, because I am, for the most part, a manga only. I have gone to the anime to watch a couple things, but like it doesn't feel like a lot is going on every chapter.
Maybe I should just read the manga.
Honestly, Cole, here's the recommendation by people is usually you watch the first half up to the time skip. And then for the second half, you read the manga, because they slowed down the pacing of the anime to like less than a chapter per episode for the second half. So, but anyway, I think we've recommended that one enough. Let's move on to the next one from Siege on Your Parade on Instagram. They want us to recommend Charlotte. Has anyone seen Charlotte?
I have seen Charlotte, but I've seen it so long ago that I honestly don't remember much about it. Aside from the fact that it's by Key and they do Clannad and things like that. So if you like that kind of thing, then...
There's like a spider and a pig.
No, Cole. That's a different thing.
Wrong Charlotte, Cole. That's Charlotte's Web. Charlotte's Web.
Oh.
Just
sorry. No, I haven't seen this one. Then.
Yeah, I was talking actually with Anime Bunny about this one, and basically they kind of said if you want to watch an anime that makes you like just stare at a wall for a while after, if you're into that, like this is a good one. It's in that category, so that's the best I can do. It's the best I can do. I'm probably going to watch this at some point. It's 12 episodes. Quick watch.
Yeah.
It's hard to turn
down.
Like
I said,
it might be a decent review.
I was just going to say the same thing.
It's by Key, who did Clannad. So
yes.
Oh, if you like Clannad, you might have some kind of affinity for this.
You like getting your heart stomped on?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, boy, do we have the anime for you.
Speaking of stomping on hearts, Platinum End suggested by Cerberus Edits on Instagram. Has anyone seen this one?
I have. That's where you beat Cynthia in the Pokemon League and you become the champion.
No. That's Pokemon Platinum, my friend.
Oh, that's the end of Pokemon
Yes. No, this is the show by the Death Note creator.
Right. Okay. So this one is kind of like a battle royale where a ton of people that and this is going to sound a bit edgy, so hold on to your butts. Hold on to your butts.
Definitely edgy.
Basically, every person in this death game is someone who wanted to commit suicide for one reason or another.
That was literally the edgiest sentence ever said on this podcast.
They're
Every
in a
person
game.
in this death game wanted to commit suicide at one point or another.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll talk about it. Don't worry.
And they were all saved by angels of God, and given
Oh, the hits keep coming.
and they're told that if they win this death game, they will become the next god. And yeah. So
Okay.
it's basically a story about the main character Mirai.
Mirai?
Mirai, of course, it means future, right?
Yeah, Mirai
No, I mean-
Takahashi.
That's edgy.
I was just gonna say this is essentially Death Note plus Mirai Nikki.
It's
And the main character's-
honestly, Cole,
And the
it's
main
literally
character's name
that.
is Mirai.
It's literally that. It's basically Death Note meets Mirai Nikki. But instead of future diaries, it's arrows that either
Angels.
kill you or make people fall in love with you.
Oh, okay.
So
This
like,
honestly sounds like an interesting idea.
yeah. So like, if you like Death Note or Mirai Nikki or things in that kind of vein, I think you definitely enjoy this. Or if you like the Death Note team because it's literally them, give this a shot.
Yeah, if you like stuff in that vein, then definitely check this out.
Yeah. I like the manga. I haven't seen the anime, so I don't know how well it holds up, but the story I thought
You haven't
was
seen the
interesting.
anime?
I like the manga.
That's very common in Jay's list. Is
Yeah,
just,
that's
it's things like earlier I discovered he hadn't watched 86 season 2, and I was just like betrayed and heartbroken.
Yeah,
because he talks about it all the time. But
I haven't
That's hurt.
seen season 2, but I've read everything that the anime covers, and I went back and I was like, okay, I need to go watch the scene that I'm thinking of, which was basically the ending of season 2. And I was like, yeah, this was done so well.
very nice scene.
Yeah, very good scene.
Cole,
But-
are you ready for the next one? I think you're gonna be excited
I'm
for it.
preparing myself.
Yeah,
I'm quivering with anticipation.
Jay, why don't you tell him what he gets
So
to tell
Cole,
other people about?
why is there such a spicy wolf? What's so spicy about this wolf?
Oh, it's Holo Be Spicy. This is a listener submission from Herculean Hugo 23. Did I read that right?
I think it might be Hugo.
I think it's Hugo.
I like Hugo.
I like Hugo too.
Yeah, it's like giving them a hug, and
Yeah.
Cole wants to give Holo a hug.
I do want to give Holo a hug. First of all, Spice and Wolf is great because of Holo. But no, genuinely, it is, just looking at it from a story point of view, it's a fun fantasy setting that doesn't necessarily revolve around like spell casting and like battles and stuff. It's kind of more... Listen, this is going to make me sound like the most boring person in the world. A lot of the plot revolves around like trade and like commerce and stuff like that, which is just super unique in anime.
Yeah.
I know that might not be the best sell, but it works. It just works. Also, the romance element between Holo and Lawrence is just very sweet and realistic. Like they both clearly have very deep affection and feelings for one another, but don't really like take that next step because of, you know, Holo's like an immortal god and Lawrence is a man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really enjoy Spice and Wolf. I really like Holo. I really like Lawrence. Yeah, it's nice. I recommend it, definitely. There are still some good action scenes in it as well, and the way the story is told also has a good way of kind of like making you wonder if this is like the end of their journey together often.
Oh, okay.
Like the way the plot kind of will, you know, like the end of the season or whatever, there'll be like the main plot point and it'll make you wonder like, okay, this is like the end of their journey together. And it's very dramatic and it's always good. And I'm very excited for new Spice and Wolf to be coming soon.
Yeah, there is a new season or new Spice and Wolf project coming up. So
New something.
New
Somebody
something.
call the police.
Yeah, call the police.
Yeah, of course someone wants to drive by as I'm recording. Cool.
Yeah.
Happens every
No,
time.
I don't know if it's a new season of Spice and Wolf or if it's like a reboot or what's going on, but I just, I like it. Have either of you seen Spice and Wolf?
Negative. I'm waiting for you to make me review it.
One day. We'll review it soon.
Yeah, Jay's
We will review it
I think
soon.
he muted himself because there's a police officer outside trying to arrest him. So It's nice
For
knowing you,
not
Jay.
seeing Spice and Wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. We're running long here. We got a recommendation from Instagram here, which I will let you know that I recommended this to them. Just because they posted a thing on their Instagram. This is Olivia Rengoku. And they just said, someone recommend me anime to watch. And I said Food Wars, because it's like a very controversial anime. People either hate it or love it, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And
people who hate it are squares.
yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. I think if you hate Food Wars, if you really are uncomfortable with anything sexual, you know what I mean? If you're like the ecchi side of things, this is not going to be for
but
you.
then
It
it's
makes you
like,
very
okay,
uncomfortable.
you prude. Like,
Yeah. But basically, if you're okay with that, this is actually at least the first couple seasons. I've heard it tails off later on, but the first season for sure and the second season are definitely worth watching. It's like just a really good battle shonen, but the battles are cooking is basically the whole plot of the show.
MasterChef, but anime.
Yeah.
Is how I would describe it.
And they just amplify absolutely everything to like the nth degree. So it's a lot of fun. It's just it's the definition of fun. The show, I would say, is the easy way to pitch.
Oh
it.
yeah,
I'm bringing back an old favorite from the early days of this podcast and saying full disclosure, I haven't seen Food Wars, but it's definitely one that I want to see. It just looks like a really fun time.
Yeah,
and there's a lot to like discuss in it, you know, like it's just one of those classic anime, like you want to argue about who's best girl, you want to argue about
100%
like the most fun arc in it, like it's
which meal you'd want to try
dish.
the most.
And the coolest part is someone who's like kind of like a foodie, I would say, like all the food that they make in this thing and like the cooking techniques they use and stuff are all like legit, and like you could, if you are good at cooking, you can make these things and they will be very tasty.
Yeah, so like for the manga, they consulted an actual chef for all the dishes.
I believe it.
And in the manga, each volume has an actual recipe for one of the dishes in the manga. Yeah.
It's really cool.
that's cool.
Yeah.
And I think they even
that's really cool.
Yeah, it's like, honestly, you can watch it. Like there's this guy on TikTok, his name, it's slipping my mind. It might be Food Kage Chris or something. And he just straight up, he'll put the anime on the scene and he'll just cook it how they make it in the anime, and then at the end he shows the results, and it honestly is always really good. I really want to try there's one, it's like fried rice with like, he takes like, you know how when you make chicken stock it gets all like those like jello consistency when you put it in the fridge?
I know exactly which dish you're talking about.
You make fried rice and then you like cube up the little pieces of jello chicken stock and you just put that on top and it melts into it, and you have like chicken soupy fried rice. Really good. But anyway, we'll save that for the Food Wars review podcast.
I feel like instead of best boy, best girl, it would just be best dish.
Best dish. Yeah, there's a few. I feel like the potato that's not the gotcha pork roast or whatever is like
the gotcha
classic
pork
one.
roast is the one I really want to try. It just looks
we
so
just said
good.
we'd save this.
Yeah, anyway, let's
we'd
go
save
on.
this for the Food Wars
we
review.
Continue. Yu Yu Hakusho is submitted by Kratos. Who wants to talk about this one? I'll let Jay. I just talked for a long time.
Yeah, sure. Yu Yu Hakusho, I mean, it's by the Hunter x Hunter creator, so like if you like Hunter x Hunter, you're basically in for a very similar experience. But I mean, like, come on, it's honestly
It's got
Botan, and it's also just like, I feel like I prefer Yu Yu Hakusho over Hunter x Hunter personally.
You know what, Jay? Hot take.
Yo,
I probably do too. Like as a whole, for the whole anime, like Chimera Ant arc is like goated.
It's very good, but it's so long. Like it just kind of like drags a bit in the middle. But like the highs in Chimera Ant are definitely very good.
Yeah,
but I feel like Yu Yu Hakusho has so much more consistency in it.
It's more solid throughout. And like honestly, the easiest way to recommend this is: do you want to watch the best tournament arc in all of anime? Because it has it. It's the Dark Tournament arc. There's a reason it's considered the best for it. It is the best.
It's the best, and it basically set the standard for what a tournament arc should be.
Yeah. And this show has the drippiest characters too. Like all the fashion in it's awesome.
Yeah.
Togashi knows what he's doing.
Togashi knows what he's doing, and he always has. He still does. He's really good at what he does. And also, isn't it shorter? The anime?
It's like 110 episodes. It's not that much. Well, I guess that's
that
2/3 the length.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want a good anime in less time, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah. Yep. And speaking of good Anime Bunny wants us to recommend Higurashi When They Cry. Boys, have you seen this one?
I have not, but I know you have. You just watched it.
Jay, you haven't seen it either, I'm guessing?
No, I haven't. But
I know you don't like
just
horror,
watched
right?
it.
Yeah, I just watched it for Halloween, so this is actually a very timely one. This anime, if you like horror at all, this is probably as close as you're going to get to true like horrific, like the horror genre in anime, I would say. Like it's got the body horror, it's got like suspense horror, it's got pretty much everything you want, and it's like a little paranormal, and it's like a mystery that you're trying to figure out the whole time. If you like any of those things, like this show will be for you. The only thing that could throw people off is it has like that classic like chibi style kind of cute looking characters where everything looks very cute and then it turns very not cute in a hurry when like things like the fingernail ripping scene and there's just like really, really gory stuff in this show.
So what you're saying is if you like Made in Abyss, you'll like this. Yeah,
that's actually not a bad take, honestly. But this is more, Made in Abyss is like more of an adventure, whereas this is more of like, I want to say a murder mystery, but that's not right. But it's just, it's like a mystery, a horror mystery is really the easiest way to sum it up. And I've only watched the first season. I haven't watched the second season, but I've heard the second season kind of, the first season you're not left with a lot of answers for the most part. And I hear the second season's the one that answers all the questions that they set up in the first season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or go read the visual novel. That's also available on Steam. So
that is also available on Steam. Who wants to take this next one?
Next one, sure. Cole.
Sure, I'll take it. Cole, take it away. From Shazana. I've heard of her.
Podcast villain.
It's Death Parade. Has been seen by you two. Right?
That's why I was laughing when Jay said,
both of you?
Cole, take it. Yeah, I've seen this one.
Cole, the one who hasn't seen it, take it. Convince me. Convince me to watch this.
Okay, Cole, here's the thing.
I'm listening.
So basically the premise of the show is these people are in basically limbo, and they have to play a game to determine whether they go to heaven or hell.
Oh, that sounds scary. I don't want to. That sounds
But like, it's
scary.
not really scary. It's more kind of like
it takes place in purgatory, basically.
Yeah.
Which is like, and purgatory is basically the set as like a bar that people come into.
Mm-hmm.
And
so
then,
like they play like bar games, like poker or darts or pool or things like that.
It helps them resolve whatever issues they had when they died. Kind of is the idea. It's a really deep show that is only 12. It's only 12 episodes long too.
This would also be a very good review for us.
Yeah, I agree. I think we'll review this one at some point. This show, honestly, I think it's in my top 10 or 20 anime of all time. So like it is definitely worth watching, and it's just a wild ride too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have intentions of watching this. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Very surprised.
So maybe force me to watch it.
Yeah.
Also, the OP
you guys can force
is an
me to.
absolute bop.
Yeah,
I know the
was
OP
just gonna
is a
say
bop.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wires by Bradio. Yeah.
I know the OP is a bop.
Another OP that's an absolute bop. Spiral_girl wants us to recommend Ouran High School Host Club. Cole, I know you've seen this one.
I want.
It's finally my turn.
It's finally your turn.
Recommend this to me, guys, because I haven't seen it.
It's one of the funniest shows I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It's
the
so
comedy is so good. Don't let the shoujo tag scare you. I mean, it is shoujo.
It is
but
shoujo,
it's
but
not like it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't scream shoujo.
Yeah.
It's shoujo in the sense that the main character is female and it's a reverse harem, I guess, kind of. But like, yeah, the comedy in it is just so good, and all the characters are just kind of wacky and zany. Like they all have their cutout space that they occupy. Like,
yeah,
one is like just the dumb hot guy. One is like the cool calculating dude. One is like the baby.
They're all like tropes, but the tropes make sense because of the setting, right? Mm-hmm. And because it's like a host club where they recruited them to be those tropes, and it's just funny the way they interact, right? Like the little cute guy has a big muscular like silent bodyguard type guy, and I don't know, it's just funny.
Remember that Studio Shaft anime that came out a few seasons ago, Jay?
Which one? Pretty Boy Detective Club?
Pretty Boy Detective Club. It's basically that, but funnier and honestly better.
Just better in general. Yeah.
And
And of course, Haruhi is great. And this one has a great dub as well, if you're a fan of dubs. And I don't know anyone who's watched this one subbed, to be honest with you. So
Me.
did you?
The sub is great. Yeah, the sub's
both
great.
of them are great.
So
yeah, go ahead.
I have a question for you. Do you guys want to kiss, fall in love?
With this show, yes.
Yes, this
Yes.
show. I should specify.
Yes, with the show, yes, indeed. Yeah, I don't know. It's great. Just quick poll, Cole. Best boy? Because best girls is only the one that really.
The main guy, I guess.
Which one? Tamaki?
I can't remember their names.
Blonde guy.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, he's great. I agree.
Mike?
Oh,
Do you agree?
That I agree. Yeah, I say that. I said
okay.
that. I agree. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Next up, we got one that Jay's going to recommend to Spiral Girl as well. Welcome
Yes.
to Demon School, Iruma-kun.
Okay. I'm gonna recommend this to her, but I'm also gonna recommend this to both of you because honestly, the show's so wholesome and so good, and more people need to watch it. It's basically like a it's a high school comedy, but it also like doesn't really have action in it, but like it has like magic in it, so like it's kind of a magic school, but not really. Basically it's like a human has infiltrated this demon school, and he has to pretend that he's a demon so they don't hurt him. And he's like the biggest cinnamon roll.
Okay, so like, it's funny then?
It's funny. Yeah. It's more of like a comedy, slice of life kind of thing.
You're describing a horror, Jay.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like.
No, it's a comedy. Like I said, it's very wholesome.
Oh, okay.
So like they don't like all the demons are like humanoid people, so like they're not actually like terrifying or anything. But it would cause a lot of problems for him if they found out he was human. So
Because they would kill him.
Because they'd kill him and drink his blood.
yeah, but it's more played for laughs than for spookums.
I do like the spookums though.
Spoopums.
Yeah.
But it's not
spoopum.
spookums, and also it's got great characters. Iruma's just
characters.
like a good cinnamon roll. It's got a good it's got romance in there if you like romance stuff. A Merry Best Girl, voiced by Sari Jaime, and I like her.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, Mike, you got to put her in now.
Oh, I already did. You don't have to tell me. I already did.
Put her in
the
again.
YouTube video. Okay, there she is.
Yeah. And
Well-
here's Kana Hanazawa.
Oh, there she is.
Oh,
Yep.
there
Thanks,
she
Cole,
is.
for making more work for me for the YouTube video.
That's what I do.
Yeah, I'm cursing your name right now as I'm editing it. Speaking of curses, the next one we have up is
Ooh.
Berserk 1997 from TikTok user Kuga. I think there's a problem with this
Kuga.
one, though.
Ah,
I don't think any of
When
us
that
have
would
seen
be?
this one.
I have not.
I have not either.
Jay?
What's Berserk?
Berserk is
An anime
crazy.
from 1997.
I've seen, like, of course, clips of this one. The animation in it looks, it's got that vintage 90s anime
It's
vibe
better
to it.
than the 2016 one.
Yeah. This is a tough one for me to recommend, though, because I haven't seen it.
We're gonna disappoint Kuga on this one. We haven't seen it. If you like I'll just say if you like Berserk and you want to see it animated, this is the best version of that, as far as I can tell. So
If you want to watch the Berserk anime, you should watch this.
yeah. Well, I mean, like if you've read the manga or you just kind of want to see what it's all about, I think this is your best option.
You know what? The golden whatever arc is not bad. Like,
Yeah.
I'll defend that one. It's the other one that's not good.
I was just more saying like this is like the consensus choice. If you want to see Berserk
Yes.
in animated form, this is the one people say to watch. And it's nice, and it's cell animation, the old school. It's got that retro vibe, like I think Jay said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But going from one that none of us have seen, how about we talk about one that we all have seen?
How about that?
From TikTok again, North Kit.
Oh,
What-
I'll take this one. Mike, go ahead.
I was just doing it.
Yeah, that's why I want to do that.
Steins Gate.
Mike's broken.
I'm bewildered.
Yeah.
What's going on? You guys are kind of like, you're breaking up just a little bit. I'm just like, what's happening? Cole, please continue talking.
Steins Gate. Let's talk about Steins Gate.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
Steins Gate's so good.
Steins Gate is the one. Steins Gate's the one where I got, I don't know, 7 episodes in, and I actually dropped it.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. I can see that because it starts kind of slow.
It does
start
start
pretty slow.
Push through.
Yeah, you got to push through the beginning, but once you get through that, it's honestly one of the best sci-fi anime ever.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
John Teeter.
The OP is of course a bop.
Mm-hmm.
Characters are all great. The animation and it's good, and of course the story and like the drama that comes from it is
top notch.
Terrific. Second to none. Yeah.
I agree. I honestly, it's kind of like it's hard to recommend something that's so good and beloved by so many people because it's like, it's just what is there really to say? Yeah, it's you know what I mean.
Just like honestly, buckle up, get ready for the ride, and you're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, I would just like Cole said though, there is that little preface that you got to say where it does start kind of slow. Like I definitely when I was watching it, I'm like in the first 10 or so episodes, I was kind of like, I don't really see why this is the best anime of all time. Yeah. And then the second half happened, and you're like, "Oh, that is really good."
Oh,
yeah,
that's why.
That's why. Yeah.
Finish is strong. Yeah, strong finish.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like a rule. People will much prefer a story finishing strong and starting weak than the other way around.
The opposite.
Sure.
Than Darling in the Franxx.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that's why everybody hates Darling in the Franxx because despite the anime being decent, the end of it was weak.
Despite.
Got weird.
Despite the first half being like really good, the second half is whatever, and so
we'll save that for the Darling in the
Franxx review.
Review. Next up is a show again off of TikTok, again from Northkit, Terror and Resonance. I have not seen this show.
Good thing I have. Jay, have you seen it?
No,
I didn't think so.
Jay, I think you can just leave your mic on.
Yeah, stop muting yourself.
No, because there's nothing for me to say. I'm done. Wait, you go ahead.
You keep muting yourself, and then it takes like 10 seconds for you to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Terror and Resonance. This show is by, I forget the director's name, but it's an acclaimed director, and people really...
Steven Spielberg.
Sure, yeah. I don't actually remember what the guy's name is, but it is a beloved director. It's the guy who did Paranoia Agent, I think. Anyway, it's a very mature show, so it's almost written. I don't really see. For me, this show was like a 7.5 out of 10, up to maybe an 8. So it's kind of hard for me to recommend it. But if you want to watch something that has like very mature themes in it, it's really like the whole plot line in it is that this group of people are like terrorists in this world.
Okay.
Like the main characters are bad guys basically, and they're planning on doing bad things, and there's kind of just like if you like edgy, mature, very grounded in reality things. But no, Jay wouldn't like it because it doesn't have that like Jay feel to it, if that makes sense. It's not edgy and like edgy sense. It's not edgy, it's not etchy at all. There's no
I'm not a fan of I don't like etchy.
Your watch list says otherwise, my friend.
Look, just because I watch it doesn't mean I like it.
Okay. I don't believe.
Jay's deflecting.
Also, a lot of romance anime happen to also be etchy, so that's probably why. Yeah,
that's true. This show, it is really good, but it kind of doesn't finish super strong. You know what? I just don't know enough to say about this. It's by MAPPA. It's underrated. I would say try it out and see if you like it. It's by Shinichiro Watanabe. That's the name of the guy.
I was waiting for a moment to jump in and mention it.
Yeah. Sorry, it's been a while since I've watched it, so I'm trying to remember it as I go along too. Mm-hmm. Basically, there's a big terrorist attack. The only clue is there's this weird internet video going on. I'd say it's worth watching. You might not love it, but it's definitely worth a watch if you have. There's other things you can watch that are better. That's not a very strong recommendation, but I think we should move on.
You don't have to recommend it.
Yeah.
Jay, why don't you tell us what the next one is?
Okay. The next one is Made in Abyss. This comes from TikTok as well by Northkit, or from Northkit, and I have not seen Made in Abyss, so I'm gonna leave this to you guys.
So we're also recommending it to Jay.
Yes.
Yeah, Jay, honestly, I think you'd like Made in Abyss. I don't know why you haven't.
The main reason why I haven't seen Made in Abyss is because a lot of the things I've been told, it gets like very disturbing, and not in the sense, and not in the sense of like, you know, like but like just like not in a psychological sense, but in more of like a.
I don't think Jay would like this show because it's very gory and like graphic. And like the themes are just way too like dark, if that makes sense. Like really, really, truly dark and horrific stuff happens.
I do like dark stuff. That's not a problem. It's just like the subject matter is a bit like.
That's what I mean.
Like,
are you concerned because they're children?
Kind of. That's kind of what it is.
I've heard that complaint lodged against this show before, and honestly, I don't see where that comes from.
See, the thing though is like I haven't seen it. It's just like
no, I know, you know, but I have, and I'm trying to tiptoe around this because this is something that you do have to tiptoe around.
Yeah.
I've seen the show, and I can't think of a situation where that needs to be something to be concerned about.
Yeah, I agree. There is definitely like the whole point of this show is it's going to make you very uncomfortable. And it's gonna
like
make
terrible things happen to the kids, but it's like not in that sense. Like,
well, like I have heard like kind of like things like the R word happening.
No, not at all.
No,
not even a little bit.
Unless
that's
that
what
was
I mean.
Just
like
the manga and they left it out. But
it's very possible.
Yeah.
The most it does is there's some questionable scenes where it's like a little bit of like romance, I guess, happening between the two kids, and it's not really even a thing at all. It's barely,
yeah.
I don't know.
Just, it makes people very uncomfortable. So if you get uncomfortable easy, this is not the show for you.
Like,
but
whether that's a thing or just in general, because it is definitely there are moments in the show where you're just like it's heavy.
Yeah, it makes you sit there and you're like, oh my goodness, what's happening? But if you like masterclass world building, if you like a really deep and intricate world that just immerses you and sucks you in, this is the show for you.
Well, and honestly, like there is an argument for like a show that really like makes you feel like uncomfortable. Like that is part of enjoying art.
Yeah,
to a certain degree, of course.
Yeah.
And I think that Made in Abyss definitely. I don't think it crosses any lines from my point of view.
It could for some people, for sure, I'd say.
For some people, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was just the people that told me about it initially were saying like it has some things that are a bit much, but
it definitely does. I would agree with that.
I'm the guy that knows almost nothing about it aside from the fact that it's dark, and it has kids that go into this fantasy world, or they are in this fantasy world.
Yeah,
that's about it. So I don't know.
We should move on.
Let's move on. Yeah,
we'll talk about this in the Made in Abyss review.
Yeah,
let's talk about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, submitted from Discord by oh no, how do you say this? Zelox
XZELOX.
Zelox.
We got two.
I've only seen like the first 7 episodes of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I feel like this is Jay's time to shine.
Yeah, okay.
Keep in mind we're running long hands.
You guys have talked enough. Let me get to my recommendation, because JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a wacky one. If you like things that are like very over the top and crazy, this is that show. If you're looking for an intricate plot that is very well thought out and very detailed, you're not going to get that here. In fact, the author goes back and retcons things all the time.
The thing that this show makes me think of is there's a thing in D&D called the rule of cool, where like if something's cool, you just do it. It doesn't really matter if it makes sense. That's JoJo.
Yeah. It's just so cool, shonen battle, whatever, but like it does that kind of thing so well. And the stands are probably one of the coolest abilities in anime, period. Like they're so intricate in what you can do with them. There's like so many different ways you can take them. The way the battles are done, it's less of like, my stand beats your stand, so therefore I win, but more like the main group is under the effect of the enemy stand. They have to figure out how to beat that stand. So it's more of like a puzzle than like a battle of strength, which I think is really cool.
I'd say this one, just for the visuals alone, is worth watching.
Yeah, and like, I mean, David Production and also Araki, who originally drew the manga, do such a great job at illustrating the original art and the art of the story that, like, I mean, it just looks so good.
Yeah. Watch JoJo's, people.
Watch JoJo's. David, like, the whole thing that David Production has done is such a great love letter to the series in general, from part 1 all the way up to part 6, that, like, just give it a shot.
Just give it a shot. Should we give Tokyo Ghoul a shot? Again, submitted off of Discord by Zelox.
No, you shouldn't.
You know what?
The anime, no.
I will say you can watch the first season of Tokyo Ghoul and you will enjoy it. You will watch Tokyo Ghoul second season and you will enjoy it less. And then you can watch and you will enjoy it even less. But the first season of Tokyo Ghoul, I would say, is enjoyable. It's fine. Read the manga, it's way better. Please, someone redo Tokyo Ghoul. It's such a shame. It's one of the best stories ever, and it's
what about the OP?
The OP is super good. It's
the
the greatest
is
OP
really
of all time.
good.
Just go watch the OP. Watch the first season. The first season is all you need to watch.
Just watch the OP and then go, boy, I want to know what the context of this OP is, so go read the manga.
It's the greatest OP of all time, Michael said.
Wait, is that what he said?
Take.
That is a very bold take. That is a bold take.
Hey, man.
Okay, we got two more to do here.
Yeah,
we got two more to do.
We gotta move on.
Yeah.
We'll discuss that on the next OP podcast.
Yeah.
Fate
speaking
series.
of OPs, this has some good OPs.
Jay's favorite of all time.
Yeah, Brave Shine is literally my favorite OP. Like, I mean...
Discord.
Jay, Crimson King 12 sent this one in.
Oh, yes. Thank you for submitting that.
But this isn't the Brave Shine podcast.
Yeah. No.
Yes,
it
is a good one.
It is the Brave Shine podcast. I will correct you on that one.
Jay,
I will wholeheartedly give a recommendation for the Fate series. Start with Unlimited Blade Works. That's where I started.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, that's where I started too.
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the most complete vision of Fate in an anime.
Well, it was the
not
original,
including the movies.
Stay Night was the original story, and then everything else branched off of it.
Right.
Right.
Watch this one for the best animation there is, really. Like
it's by Ufotable, who did Demon Slayer. You know Demon Slayer, the show that literally everyone watched except for me.
Yeah, and this one has I would argue better animation than Demon Slayer.
Yeah, and I mean Typhoon's art is just ridiculously good. So
but like not even just Unlimited Blade Works. You got Fate Zero. You got the movies, Lost Butterfly movies.
Yeah,
the sequel, the trilogy.
Heaven's Feel.
Heaven's Feel. Sorry.
Yeah.
You've got honestly, like the original Fate Stay Night has its issues, but it's fun.
Studio Dean.
It's
right?
serviceable. Yeah.
The Fate Go anime is not bad either.
Yeah. I've heard varying things about Apocrypha.
I didn't mind Apocrypha. I liked Apocrypha.
This show is definitely
best girl.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Gastolfo's from? I didn't actually know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This show is definitely for people, or this series is definitely for people like me who love watching shows with like super complex timelines and like where you have to look up a watch order, like Monogatari or something like that. This is if you like that, watch Fate. You'll love it. It's so complex and intertwined that you don't even if you know what you're watching and what order you're supposed to watch it in, you still don't really know.
Yeah. And it's got some really good like side ones too, like the
Cooking with Emiya.
Yeah, the Emiya cooking show.
I want to watch that one.
Yeah, me too.
Carnival Phantasm is, don't sleep on that one. I love Carnival Phantasm. It's so funny. I love Fate. It's good.
Yeah,
it is good.
Let's do our last one.
The last one.
Jay?
Sure.
Jay, take it away.
Okay. This is Rent a Girlfriend, coming from TikTok by tons of Japanese characters. We don't know how to read your name, so we do apologize, but big shout out to Japanese characters.
I think their name is Matt. I'm just making that up. Tell us about when they want you to recommend to them, Jay, which I know you can recommend quite well.
Yes, I can absolutely recommend
This one's going to get heated, but let's remember we're running long, Jay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Rent a Girlfriend, if you like just like crazy, wacky, trash rom-coms, this is the show for you. It's got like a great girl and that's it.
Yeah.
But like if you're
literally it.
If you're a fan of waifus and you want to talk about waifus, it's got that. If you want to self-insert yourself into a story and get the main character out of there, so you can no, get the main character out of there and instead be the main character and pretend. This is the show for you. This is the show for the weebs that like genuinely need to touch grass.
I feel like
the face Michael was making was honestly a work of art.
Yeah, I feel like this show is this. If you like stuff like Jersey Shore or like Love Island and like those trashy like
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like trash TV, where it's trash. Everyone knows it's trash. What's the new one that everyone watches these days?
Love is Blind?
No, it's that one too. And then the one where remember what it's called?
Oh, I don't know.
The Kardashians?
Yeah, or Kardashian.
If it's not animated, I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I just know this from people in my family that talk about it amongst each other. I don't really know.
Yeah, it's the one where they hook up two people. Oh, they're all like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's literally every show.
Like
The Bachelor.
Yeah. If you like trashy TV like that, you like this show. Mm-hmm. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
nothing happens at the end. It's all just continues into the next episode.
The only reason I am still reading this manga is because I've gotten this deep. I don't want to back out now. Mama didn't raise no quitter.
Right. But I think it's time that we quit this podcast.
Yes.
$1 in the jar.
Now.
$1 in the jar.
Until next week.
Yeah, until next week.
Until next week, then you can reclaim your $1.
Yeah, you can have your $1 back next week, Mike. Yeah, thanks for listening to the Anime Protagonist podcast. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of that stuff. AniProPod, that's ANIPROPOD. You can follow me, Cole, on Twitter. My Twitter handle is at AniProCole, ANIPROCOLE. Joseph, what's your Twitter?
You can follow me at JayGuardian, JayGareDian. And Mike, where can they find you? I almost said Cole.
I'm famously not Cole. You can follow me at Gritty Gundam, GrittyGundam. It
was the shirt. The shirts were confusing.
We're both wearing red. I know it's super
honestly,
confusing.
When you both wear red, you look exactly the same.
Yeah.
I'll take that's a compliment to me. Like, review, subscribe, and tell a friend. That helps us out no matter where you're listening to us, whether it's on YouTube, Spotify,
Apple Podcast,
and come to our Discord, please come to our Discord, chat with us. That's where you can submit. Yes, I'm on my knees begging you. My head is pressed firmly against the ground. Links to all of our stuff is on our link tree. That's linkter.ee/AniProPod. And like I said, we will be back next week. But until next week, we say as we do at the end of every episode of the Anime Protagonist podcast, bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye.